Peace fam, this is the Everyday Entrepreneur with Coach T, your brand amplifier. This is where everyday entrepreneurs get real coaching, real strategy, and real amplification. Let's get to your next level. What's going on, guys? Coach T here. Welcome to the Everyday Entrepreneur, where we get in your business and we talk real stuff. We bring the attention to you so that you can be seen, heard, and felt, okay? I would love today to introduce you to one of my coolest, newest friends, guys. His name is Jett Williams. I call him the Jett Setter. I might have even given him that name. I don't know. But without further ado, welcome, Jett. What's going on, man? Talk to me.
What's up? I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to be here. I'm very excited.
Yes, man. Thank you so much for being here, for deciding to say yes. I appreciate that. This podcast is all about spotlighting the entrepreneurs, your journey, what it is that you're doing, what you got coming up, what's your challenges, all of the things. And so, how I know you, man, listen, we have at this point stumbled upon each other in multiple events.
Yeah.
And the thing that we've both had in common each and every single time is, baby, listen, we gonna dance.
We gonna dance.
We gonna dance.
We gonna dance.
We gonna dance. Listen, and he dancing, I'm dancing. We're in our own world. Next thing you know, we connect. Shout out to Mostly Sugar, right? Shout out to my girl,
Mostly
Erica.
Sugar.
We did that then, right? It was,
Yeah.
What was the other guy's name you were with?
Mal.
Jay. Was it Jay? Mel? Who was it?
Mal?
Yes, and we had a good time just dancing randomly in the middle of the floor. And from there, I knew this is my vibrant brother here. We on the same vibe. And so we got to doing some additional events together. And then I realized, wait a minute, what is it that you do? Because I see you always dancing, but I don't even think I know what it is that you do. And the rest is history. We just kind of really got into it from there, getting to know one another. And so I want the people to get to know you and know who you are. And so let's start there. King Jett, tell the people who you are. And I mean beyond your business card, right? Where'd you come from? Who's the core of who you are?
Yeah. So I grew up here in the Ep.4. I was born in Richmond, but Henrico, Virginia.
Okay.
Same
Yeah,
difference.
same.
I might get some flack for that. But
Same a little bit, yeah.
Right. But I grew up in Henrico, Virginia, over by the Raceway.
Okay.
I really, really loved growing up around Richmond because it's full of so many creative people. And I wouldn't have considered myself a creative person until pretty recently. I was always very involved in whatever it is I was doing, whether it was school, whether it was extracurricular activities. I always had something going on and people always knew the name Jett. So I was always a familiar face.
Yeah.
Wherever I was at, people like, oh yeah, that's Jett. We love Jett.
Yeah.
Either you love me or you hate
you don't.
me. So,
yeah. Yeah, I love that. And so I heard you say something that was interesting. You said something around the idea of you just becoming who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit more about that. What did that mean?
So creatively, I always saw my siblings as the creatives out of all of us.
Okay.
My brother was in Center for the Arts, and so was my older sister at Henrico High School.
Okay.
My older sister was there for theater, and my brother I think he was there for graphic design. He was designing clothes, and now he's a multi-dimensional artist now.
Wow.
So he's definitely the most creative out of all of us. And then my sister, she doesn't really lean into her artistic talents, but she can really paint. She was always a really good painter. Now she's a model, so she's, harnessing all of her creative energy that way. So I'm very excited. But growing up, I never really had a super artistic or creative talent that I could display the same way as they could. I was always really good with my words. Okay. So, I'm not a poet, but I know the good words to use.
Poet. So you be talking to her.
As my dad always says, he's got the gift of gab, and I definitely inherited that from him.
Okay.
But I've definitely found a way to harness that for myself. And be creative with that. I've always been good at talking to people. I've always been good at engaging with others. And I think combining that with my love of going out has really been working well for me.
I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. That is, that's beautiful for me. I appreciate you sharing that. And, knowing that you didn't start out as a creative, and honestly, it doesn't even really sound like you align to the name or the title right now, right? I don't know. I haven't heard you say it yet. But like literally it's awesome to know that, even though that's not necessarily your background, it still came from something that is of the arts, right?
Yeah.
You love to put some words together and I love that. I love that. So, okay, well, that's something I didn't know about you.
Yeah.
Because, I know you my dance bot. So we've got to talk about that, right? I feel like there's a story. I may or may not already know it. I don't know. But I feel like there's a story here regarding, your dancing, and I want people to know about it before we get into the next thing. So talk to me about that. Why are you always in these streets dancing, boy?
So that's actually a really great question, because it's one of the most engaged videos I've ever put out, is why I'm always dancing.
Yeah.
And it's because growing up, I was always a little more on the shy side. I was not antisocial. Like I said, I've always loved talking to people, but it took me a while to get there. And in high school, I remember I went to my first party for people who were college age.
Yeah.
And I was the only one in the party dancing. And one of the girls had recorded me at that party and posted it. It was like, oh, this nigga ugly. He ugly as fuck. Oh my God, he's so ugly. Look at him. And it kind of blew up, right? And I was like, damn, that does not feel good. I do not want to go through that again.
Yeah.
So that had kind of killed my desire to dance for a long time. I was like, oh, I guess people don't. All right, people don't dance. All right, I guess.
I didn't know.
Let me just acquiesce. Then as I started to go out more and more, I'm like, I keep hearing people talking about, oh, nobody's dancing anymore. Someone's got to be the person to do it.
To dance, yeah.
So I was like, well, the only thing holding me back is the opinion of others. And what is that really going to do for me?
Yes.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. Let me dance a little bit, see how the crowd is feeling it. And I started dancing. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of positive attention.
Right. Hey, that's not too bad.
No, not at all.
It feels good, right?
It does.
Because there's a lot of, actual good qualities, physical wellness qualities,
you can release a lot
that are
of that
associated with dancing.
Energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I started dancing more and more and more, and people started knowing me as, oh, that's the guy that's always dancing.
That's always dancing.
And it opened a lot of doors for me that, wouldn't have opened the doors for other people because they weren't as recognizable in the spaces that I was in.
Yeah.
Because I'm always the guy that's going to be dancing.
Yeah.
And the way that I look at it is, if I'm always at an 8 or a 9 or a 10, it might inspire somebody who's normally at a 1 or 2 take it up to maybe a 5 or 6.
Yes.
Exactly. So
come on now.
Someone's got to be the leader.
Somebody's got to do it.
I'm cool with being the fall guy.
That's you.
It's like,
man.
Oh, well, he's doing a lot. If I can at least take it up a little bit.
I can bounce a little shimmy. A little shimmy.
I get a little two-step. It helps people feel a lot less in the spotlight when there's somebody else doing way more.
Absolutely. I love that. I absolutely love that. And I had to ask because I'm big with dancing too. I'm from New Orleans. I don't know a vibe or a beat.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
I didn't.
But he didn't know. Y'all, he didn't know I was from New Orleans.
That's news to me.
Yes, I'm from New Orleans, so it ain't a vibe or a beat that I don't rock with. I'm gonna find that two-step to it.
Yeah, we need some more of that roll of beat type.
Listen, we need it. It is always there. We just gotta tune into the right station. They will Nola beat gospel. It does not matter.
Sure.
And I be
it's gonna hit every time.
That bounce gonna hit
every time. Just like go-go. I think that go-go is gonna hit every time.
Classic. And so I definitely understand about the movement, right? But I think that's a Black people thing altogether. I just, hey, as we're recording this, we are still in Black History Month. And I just kind of, I just want to take a moment as we're in Richmond, Virginia, talking about, in this one port town, talking about another port town of New Orleans, Louisiana. Exactly. I just want to take a moment to talk about our ancestors, right? And where they came from and the things that they did to survive, to thrive, to have fun, to have wellness, right? And movement and dancing was really, really a big part of that, right? moment that our ancestors got off of this boat, they were confused, they were hurt, they didn't know what was going on. And then there's movement that brings the people together and heals, right? And still to this day, it heals communities. And so I just want to say, man, keep the heck dancing. It looks good on you. It leads the way. It keeps you young. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, because I've been dancing my whole life. And it's a beautiful thing. So thank you. I appreciate you for sharing that. But that part of you is absolutely a perfect segue into what is it that you do, right? What is it that you do? The part of you that's dancing at all of these events, right? And you becoming well known as a result of energy that you put out. What have you allowed it to morph into? Who is it that you serve, and how exactly do you serve people?
Yeah, I love serving the community. You know, I like to provide vibes for everybody, but everything I do is for the Blacks.
Okay.
You know, I love
Not the Blacks.
Blacks. This is for the niggas, strictly for the niggas.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but I love it. I love providing vibes for the community. I love giving back the vibes that I was given, you know, growing up. You know, I've always been surrounded by Black excellence. I love being around my people. I love it. You know, I went to a PWI. It was the most miserable I have ever been.
Oh, man.
You know, love my classes, love my professors, but I was not around enough of my people. And I often wonder what I would have been had I gone somewhere that was a little more melanated. You know?
I feel you on that. I went to a PWI as well. Shout out Old Dominion University. Hello, Norfolk,
I mean, that's
Virginia.
basically like Richmond 2.0.
Yeah, it is Richmond 2.0 nowadays, but you know, it was different in the 90s. You know, it was different. It's definitely changing now. And so, I definitely understand that. So I appreciate that. Here's a question for you that I'd love to know, right? When did so this is something that you and I were talking about off camera, and I love to bring it in because I need the people to know. And I'm going to mess up the quote, so it won't be a quote. I'm just kind of paraphrasing. You said something about how long you've been an entrepreneur, right? And, you know, just how long you've been on your journey. And I would love for you to tell the people that because, you know, looking at you, you're a young man. You're a young man, right? Are you 30 yet?
No.
Okay, cool. That's all we got to say with this big old luscious beard. Ain't even 30. I don't know what's going on. But the point is like, and you're doing your thing, right? And from what I understand, you've been doing it for quite some time. So let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey, when it started for you and let's just start right there.
So my entrepreneurial journey started when I was in 17 in high school. I started working as an independent sales rep for Cutco Cutlery.
Okay, yeah, Cutco.
Yeah. So I was doing that since I was 17.
Okay.
And I love it.
Okay.
Very great.
Okay.
I had a friend of a friend reach out to me. He's like, hey, you want to check out this job?
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? Selling knives and kitchenware. I was like, that's kind of weird, but I'm gonna check it out because at the time I had been working for my dad's telecommunications business. Love my dad. We don't work well together. I like it better when we're family.
We're just family.
Not coworkers.
Well,
not when I'm his employee.
I know that's right.
What it is.
I know that's right.
So I checked it out and I was like, all right, the interview was cool. I like it. You know, 1 week turned into 2 weeks. And at that point I had been the number 2 sales rep in the office at that point.
Wow.
No experience in sales whatsoever.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks turned into a month turned into a year, and a year turned into 6 years.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear these numbers? Yes. So you're still doing Cutco?
Yes.
And you're still killing it?
I wouldn't
6
say
years
killing
later.
it. I scaled back a little bit so I could focus on
your
building
business.
my brand.
Yeah.
But I still love it. I'm still going to sell if I get in front of a customer.
Heck
but
yeah.
I love it.
Listen, I have sold Cutco before, back in college. I have also bought Cutco knives, and they are the best. Listen to him. Like, now he know these things last forever, and he telling me to buy him some more. That sounds like a salesman right there, right? You on that thing, he on that thing.
It's always something you don't have.
You're absolutely right, because mine, I got quite some time ago. My baby is 20. My son is 20, right?
Yeah.
And I may have gotten them before that. So, you know, they're old. Right. Yeah, so I got that good set, you know, with that white marble handle. I mean, they probably still got it. But either way, I digress. That is interesting, right? Because you don't hear too many people, just really bringing it back and talking about their entrepreneurial journey paired with a corporation, right? But the reason why that's the case for you, Jett, is because, Cutco, you're like an independent dealer or, independent distributor, or, you've got your own little segment of your business as everyone has theirs. And so, so talk to me a little bit about, 19, 20 years old, 21 years old. You said 6 years, and you said you started out and, you killed it, right?
Yeah.
And so let's just say that like that meant within the first 3 years you were killing it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 19, 20, and 21. So as a 19, 20, and 21-year-old young man that's killing it, making all kind of money, talk to me about the types of habits and that you had during that time and actions that you had to consistently focus on and create in order to keep that momentum.
Yeah, I passed up a lot of opportunities to go have fun as a college student.
Talk about it.
My freshman orientation, I just skipped a lot of it because I wanted to talk to customers.
Wow.
It's like, I'm gonna figure all this out eventually.
Yeah.
And it was during 2020, so
okay.
It was really tough going into college as a freshman in the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really feel like being all that social with people anyway, because I don't know who's got what.
You ain't breathing on me right now.
Right. I really just rather, hop on Zoom calls, talk to customers, and build out my brand, because I knew pretty early on that Cutco is something that I wanted to take seriously and do as, a profession. Okay. So I was like, let me do what I can to build out this brand and do what I can to succeed. And with all the time that I spent with Cutco in college, I fortunately never had to have that broke college student experience. I could always eat out if I wanted to. I could do whatever I wanted that involved money, and I never really had to worry about it. Looking back at it now, it's like, man, I was really making some good money.
Yeah.
But, the habits I developed was being able to put some things to the side in order to focus on the goal that I have for myself, the vision that I have for myself, and being able to sacrifice. That's one of the biggest things they teach you in your training, is that you're not missing anything. You're making a trade-off.
Yes.
Do you want to have the instant gratification now, or do you want to build for the life that you actually want? And that's something that I really, really took to heart.
Love that.
And something now that I'm really having to live, having actual bills to pay and things that I really have to invest in order to build my brand. Making the sacrifice of, all right, hey, this isn't necessarily working out. It's time to pivot. Even if I really like it in the corner that I'm in now, I've got to pivot and make some big boy decisions, put my big boy pants on, and make some real grown-up decisions, even if it's going to suck right now. But in the long term, it's going to be for the better.
Yes, delaying instant gratification for the long term. I love that. I love that. And so it sounds like during those 3 years, because I asked you specifically zoned in for those last 3 of 6 years, that you were really growing up. You were really learning some real stuff. We're not talking about just life. We're talking about business. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about cultivating like leadership, cultivating different relationships, having different types of conversations, right? Man. And so, I could definitely see that. And so, that's led you to who you are today. And so let's talk a little bit about who you are in the community today. And then let's also transition to what you got going on in the community.
So, in the community, I guess I would consider myself a content creator, an event curator. I identify with the term curator a lot more than I do with creator. Because I like taking what's already out there and making it enjoyable for everybody. So I make content about where to go out in Richmond nightlife. My catchphrase is, we're reviving faith in Richmond nightlife 1 weekend at a time. Because I'm tired of hearing people say Richmond has no nightlife. Nightlife is dead. Clubbing culture is dead. And, I feel like that is attributable to a lot of different things. I think the pandemic has killed a lot of that. Generation that I'm in, we came into clubbing not really knowing what clubbing looked like prior to the pandemic. So we don't really have anything to go off of except for movies and TV shows and what the people around us are talking about.
I hadn't thought about that.
We haven't really experienced it,
There's a generation of people that have not experienced clubbing. I'm so sorry for y'all. Can I throw y'all a funeral? Can I throw you a funeral? So listen, I'm from New Orleans, right? So I don't believe in having a funeral for you. I believe in throwing you a funeral, right? So I mean, you know, you got to cue on your little second line up.
Right.
Okay, sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Well, we're not throwing a funeral because it's not dead.
Wow.
We're reviving it.
You're reviving it. Okay. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So you're reviving the energy of, you know, the dead hip hop clubbing culture. Is that right?
Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, having places to go and letting people know where they can go to have a good time.
Right.
I absolutely love that. And so tell me some examples of the types of things that you would tell people about.
You know, probably the biggest thing I would say is, you know, following comfortable.co is a great Comfort Co, I guess is what they go by now.
Okay.
Is a great promoter to follow. And for me, it's not about where to go. It's who to follow.
Who to follow.
You got to make sure you're following the right promoters.
Yes.
You got to make sure you're following the right DJs.
Yes.
That's how I know about all the best places to go, is because I'm tapped in with all the best DJs and I'm tapped in with all the best promoters.
Okay.
But, you know, promoters, you know, Comfort Co, Thank You Come Again, those are very reliable promoters that I know are going to provide a great time every single time. They do quality over quantity, and that's something that I personally really appreciate. But also following the right DJs, and that depends on what type of vibe you're looking for.
Right.
But, you know, you got people like Jay Francis, you got Jay Slim, you've got Malika, you've got Marcus Gold. And, you know, there are always great DJs. I'm tapped in with a lot of great people. It just depends on what it is you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I just think those are really good general audience DJs that I know you're going to enjoy whatever it is you're looking for.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And it makes sense, right? Like if you see a need, you see a void, then someone's got to step up and do it, right? Someone's at some point, right? Just like you said, when it came to dancing on the dance floor, at some point someone's got to be the leader here.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
Why not me? Why not me? And so I love that about you, and I see it, you know, repeating in so many different areas that, you know, I see you.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. It's a good characteristic to have, for sure. Well, listen, I've got a question for you that I would love to know. You know what? Before we do that, let me ask you. So I'm hearing all of the things that you're doing in the community, the events that you're putting on, the events that you're part of. And what I've heard you say was that one of the main things you've got to do is stay connected to the people, right? And what that made me think of is as entrepreneurs, right? Because he's talking about in his industry, but man, isn't that a universal statement?
It is.
Right? It's a universal statement because what it says is, you know, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
In order to continue to grow, you've got to stay connected to the people that are growing, right?
Exactly.
And so what it means to me, AKA guys, somebody, hey, zoom in. What it means to me when that is said is there are no solos, right? There are no solos. Ain't no solo Superman, Superwoman saying, I'm going to put this on my back, right?
Yeah.
That's not what this is. I need you to hear that, folks, because he said it best, right? And this is a young man that, you know, has been an entrepreneur and been in the entrepreneurial mindset since the age of 19, watching it evolve and continuing to move in a certain way, and hearing him say, hey, listen, you've got to stay tapped into other people to grow, right? If it were just him, then he didn't know if that would be the same experience, right? He just said that.
100%.
So definitely pay attention to that, y'all. So listen, here's my last question for you, King, as we wrap this thing up, but I feel like it's the most important. It's the one that gives you the most juices and berries, the most, you know, something to give you a little thank you for coming on the way out. It's just, you know, asking a quick question regarding your business, right? It sounds like you're doing a lot, you're growing a lot. How many events have you had down at this point?
3 at this
point. 3 events. And you've been doing this since how long?
November.
What? What? Wait, November, December, January, February. 4 months, 3 events in 4 months. That boy on fire!
Yeah, we working on it. We working on
it. Go ahead. And so that's huge. That is huge. So 3 events in 4 months, and he just started this thing, right? So here's my question to you and my gift, right? What challenges are you having in your business right now at month 4 and event 3? What's going on in your business that you feel like could move? You know, if you fix that, you can move the needle a little bit.
I think the biggest thing that I'm struggling with, it's not figuring out how to make it happen. It's not figuring out what DJs I need, what venues I want to go to. The biggest thing is funding and finding sponsors for my events that are willing to help make the dream become a reality.
Yes.
Because it's one thing, we talked about this off camera, it's one thing to execute, but it's another thing to execute it well and with the intention that it deserves.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, it costs money to do things with intention.
Yeah.
And I never want to get to a point where I'm just throwing stuff to have stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to be person focused.
Yes.
And I know that requires making the investment, which I'm willing to do, but having help with that is something that I would really appreciate and is the biggest obstacle in my business.
I love that. And I appreciate that. That's a big one in a lot of people's business, right? So y'all, this is my little remarkable. We were talking about it before we came online. It's like a Etch-a-Sketch for adults. It doesn't have internet or Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, it has Wi-Fi, but it doesn't have internet. You can't check the emails and stuff in it. And so it's nothing but just Etch-a-Sketch. It's perfect. And so I write a lot of notes on here. I'm about to write some notes right now. So because I want to make sure I answer your questions and really help you through this one, right? And so what I'm hearing is that you need funding.
Yeah.
Just period. Looking for different ways to get additional streams of revenue into your business, funding into your business, attention, visibility, and things like that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. And you've been in business 4 months.
Yes.
Okay. And you're already killing it in the aspect that clearly the things that you are doing, the people want. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So this is me just asking a couple questions just to understand where you are. Do you have a website?
No.
Okay. Do you have a sponsorship packet put together?
For specific events.
For specific events, but just overall, like for the bank? No. But you want the bank to fund you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'll stop right there because these are some of the things we got to work backwards, right? If we know what we want, we've got the end goal in mind, then we've got to find a list of things in order to make sure that when it's time, we're ready. Right? We not trying to get ready. When that bank comes knocking on our door because some representative was at your event, they're not gonna wait on you to get ready. They're not gonna, they're gonna say, here, send us all of this in 24, whatever. And if you don't, because you're scrambling,
they're
right? And so the first thing that I would suggest is to make sure, number one, you know the things that are required in order to be sponsorship or funding attractive.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Put a little hyphen on that. Funding attractive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so certain things like, since you've been in business for 4 months now, right? There's certain things that you probably have or do not have, right? A business plan that's all put together, right? That's extremely attractive to people that's looking to grant funding. But sometimes when you're so early in, that thing's moving like crazy, right?
Yeah,
some of the goals, the goal line is stretched and things, right? And so you've really got to get in tune with that, right? Your branding and visibility, how you come forth online, right? What people know you for, and more importantly, is the thing that you are known for, the thing that you want to be known for. Are you aligned on all platforms in that same way, right? And so there are certain things that we can do to make sure that you're funding ready. And I won't go over the whole list with you here for sake of time, but that's the first thing I'm going to say to the people as well as you, right? If you need money, right, then the way I like to talk to my clients is you've got to live life as if. And from a mindset perspective, a lot of people like to say, baby, we're going to fake it till we make it. We're going to fake it till we make it. And I'm not about to fake it till we make it, because what it tells your brain is that it's not real and it's temporary. Right. And so what I like to do is say, live life as if. And so if you've got that funding, right, if you've got that person that wants to give you $25,000 in funding in 2 weeks, right? And it's coming, right? Then how are you living your life today as if that money is coming? How are you preparing? And your hair should be on fire answering that question and executing those answers. It's a two-way part. right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And so branding is extremely important, right? When it comes to
100%.
this. Okay. And it looks like you're doing a really good job from the perspective of aesthetics, right? And what people see. But that back office, that's what gets so many people that's starting in business.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what get them messed up, right? Because I'm a really, really good technicalpreneur at the thing I'm good at. You're a really good event planner, right? You can create events, curator of events, like you said, right?
Yeah.
But what about that business part? You know, and I understand that, right? And so, my suggestion to you would be to get with a mentor, coach, or something like that that can give you a checklist. Nowadays, you can get a checklist off ChatGPT. You really can, right? And so, this is not really about who, but the what, right? And so, you want to reverse engineer that thing. If I'm looking for funding, what things do I need to do in order to be prepared to get funding? Right? How many bank accounts do you have for your business?
2.
Okay, well, that's a really, really good start, right? There is going to be so many very good drill downs like that you know, that are just checklist type things, right? Do you have separate accounts? Do you have certain things going in there? You know, what types of testimonials do you get, right? Are you giving a survey out to your folks? You know, some event planners, they only think to give this post survey out to the people that came to the event. Not the bar owner or the event owner, right? Not the DJ, you know, not the promoter, but you have these relationships with these people. And these are the people that when the banks are looking for how to fund you, these are the people whose attention they will get. I mean, you'll get that attention, right? Because this is not just a random person saying he gave me a great event. The music was vibey, right? These are other business owners that are vouching for you and the experiences that you provide, which is what you're doing. Curating experiences. Does that make sense, King?
It does.
Okay. And so reverse engineering is best with this. It's not necessarily that you're going to have to, in my opinion, go through every single thing at once. But you will know the moment you say, okay, this is what I want. Let me get my list, my checklist, right? And now we've got a priority list in which we can actually break down to say what's the most important as I'm still flying this plane because I hadn't stopped.
Pun intended.
Yeah. That was a good one. Okay, Jett Setter. Yeah, I hadn't stopped, right? I'm still building and flying this plane. So, you know, what do I need to add on to do this? How do I make myself more attractive? Right? To anyone that looks, not only my audience, but the people that are willing to fund my audience.
Right.
And when you answer those questions and execute, right? And if I'd say focus on one good thing a week, okay? It will definitely help you because most of the time, the biggest things you've got to do to get funding is get prepared for funding in the eyes of those that are willing to give you funding.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How was that? Was that helpful?
Very helpful.
Okay. Very good. What other questions, man? We're about to wrap this thing up, but I would love to know what other questions you have. You got any other ones for me?
Questions for you. I'm not sure I have any questions.
Okay.
I think everything else is not easy, but it's pretty straightforward.
I think you're doing a great job. I really do. 4 months, 3 events, you're on fire. And that's really the reason why I reached out to you to, to come here to be interviewed, because I want people to know there are some people that's out here and they're saying, listen, things are tough right now. They're tight. And there are other people that's just flying out of a rocket. Right. And you've got to decide where you want to be, what kind of energy you want to put out there. But both are possible.
Right.
And, and so I just want to say thanks so much for everything that you're doing. Keep killing it. Right. Keep creating amazing events. Oh, and you've got one coming up soon. By the time this is recorded, it'll be well after it, but not in the promotion of it. So talk to us. What do you have coming up next?
So March is completely booked up with events. I think the first one that's coming is a collab event with J Slim and No Standing Around, as well as Jay Francis. We're doing a Drake and Future collab night. So what a time to be alive it is. So that'll be coming March 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Then after that, I'm doing a networking brunch with my co-host, Maya the Beauty, another really awesome
I know. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Creative.
Love her.
That's going to be with Royalty Entertainment. That's going to be mid-March sometime.
Okay. And tell me about that women one. I know you got that one coming up too. We talked about that.
And then we're going to close out Women's History Month.
I love that.
With my Women of the Culture event. That's going to be a day party from 5 to 9. I'm
Okay.
very excited about that. I think out of all the events I have, I think that's the one I'm most excited about scaling.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
you always see online how
Yeah.
women are not happy with the way that nightlife
Yeah,
is going.
is going.
nowadays. You know, they don't like the music.
Yeah.
They don't like the environment, the
Yeah.
ambiance. They don't like a lot of the stuff that comes with nightlife. And I think a lot of that is common sense.
Yeah.
And I want to create an experience where women can just be themselves, where they don't have to worry about, you know, being creeped on, where they have to worry about being perceived by, you know, hella men that they don't want attention from. You know, that's
I love that.
a big reason why I make the videos about, you know, clubbing and dating etiquette for men, is because as a curator, I want to make sure that people understand the type of energy that you're going to come into my events with.
Oh, I love that. Did y'all hear that? Dating and clubbing etiquette for men. This boy is not playing. I absolutely love that. Y'all heard it here first, that's something that he's offering. I just want to make sure I say this, man. You said that you're trying to make sure that you're doing these things for the women, but yet this is your second women event as Women of the Culture event. So I think you're doing it. So I want to just make sure that we tap into that language, because that language will have you think you are managing trying at something that you already managed and got the part two to it. There you go.
I am doing it.
You're
I want
killing
to
continue. I love it. Listen, y'all, 5 to 8. What day was that?
5 to 9.
5 to 9.
March 28th.
March 28th. Listen, that's before my bedtime, so I'm looking forward to showing up and looking forward to the music and vibing with the women. Man, listen, it's been an amazing time with you.
I had a great time.
Yeah, seriously, getting to know you better. And shout out to the My Selfie Museum, man. Mr. Suleiman Kareem. Listen, I just love this place. If y'all have not been here, y'all kind of tap into the My Selfie Museum. There's all kind of awesome things coming here. And it's backgrounds like this that you can get into.
Shit is hard.
Yeah, it's real hard. It's real hard. It's real hard. We're about to take some selfies right now. But that's it, y'all. Thanks so much for attending my little podcast. This, by the way, guys, is something that's just near and dear to my heart. And it's been such an honor to see it grow. And so thank you so much for showing up for yourself. Thank you so much for whatever you may be learning as a result of this. And just keep growing. That's it, y'all. Peace. Cut all them cameras off. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
That was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was.